What's going on, guys? So on today's video, actually started a little bit too early, but I'm actually working on my Kia Sedona right now. I need to do the belts again, unfortunately. It's overheating due to lack of could either be there's air in the system and the cooling and the water system. There's air in there, or it's the belts that are slipping, because every single time I turn on the AC system, it tends to want to overheat, and every single time I turn it off, it goes back to normal. So my conclusion is, when the AC comes on, the AC compressor, the clutch kicks in, it's slipping. It's slipping and slipping and slipping as the belts are like spinning. So I just jacked up my car right now, the van. By the way, guys, it is for sale. I'm gonna do its tune-up this coming up month. Actually, I'm gonna do its tune-up. Now I'm gonna show you guys how I have it set up. So right now what I did is that I jacked it up off the floor, just the front end. And the way I did it with this vehicle, and for most vehicles, I think it's exactly the same. You're gonna have to look for some points to jack it up. Now this right here is a point where you can jack it up from, because it's part of the chassis, or you can also jack it up from there where the jack stand is at, but I mostly jack it up from right here. And at some places where you would take it to get your how do you call it, where you take it to get your tires changed, people actually jack it up from right here, as you can see, right here or right here. And that's not typically a good spot to do it, because it's not part of the chassis. This whole thing, well, don't quote me, I could be wrong. I got taught like that to never go do it through this, because this is a bolt-on. As you can see, there's a bolt. Where the hell is it at? Okay, so as you can see, somewhere over there, there's like a bolt right there next to my finger right there. See, and that is what holds the engine up. And then there's also motor mounts that are holding the engine in place, and the transmission as well. But this is one of the places where you can jack it up from, because it's part of the frame, part of the chassis. Now, in order to find this, I mean, it's always going to be in the front. Now you guys are always going to want to go under the car and just lean your head like that, and you might see something sticking out, like a metal piece like that. That's where you're going to jack it up. Now you're going to want to do it one by one, you can see. And then, so once you've jacked up the first side up, you're going to want to put a jack stand on one of the lift points, which is right here. This is a lift point. You can see right here, it's marked, but I have it more right here. You're gonna want to put a jack stand right here in order to keep it up. You know, you don't want to keep it with the floor jack on there. Okay. And then you're gonna want to do the same exact thing on the other side. You're gonna lift it up from the lift point that's underneath this bumper, and then you're gonna want to put another jack stand on the lift point right here. As you can see, I have it right there, I have it pretty high up. Now after that's done, you're gonna want to take off your wheels. Quick note, you're gonna want to loosen up the lug nuts when the vehicle is on the ground. You always want to loosen up the lug nuts when your vehicle is on the ground. Just loosen them up. Don't loosen them and take them off completely. Just loosen them up, because you do not have any power tools. If you did have power tools, it's fine. You can jack up the car, have it like this, and then take off the lug nuts or loosen them. Excuse me. But when you're doing something like this, taking off wheels from the front, you're always gonna want to loosen up the lug nuts when the car is on the ground, and then jack it up, and then put the floor jacks on each side, and that way you have it like that. And then if you're gonna take off the tire, or I mean the wheel, to do some work underneath, yeah, it's easy access already. You don't have to struggle. The wheel won't spin when you're trying to take off or loosen up the lug nut. Now, the way you take off, what the fuck is my cross? So the way you take off a lug nut is gonna be with this special tool. Now, most of you guys will have it. Either it's gonna be an L shape, and it's gonna have one size, and that size only works for your car. This, it's universal. It's a cross. You can buy it at any auto parts store. It's actually like a few $20, yeah, $25, something like that. But this is gonna have all different size lug nuts for any car, and you just gotta find the right size. For this one, I think it is it's gonna be a 21 millimeter. Here it is, 21 millimeter, 13 by 16th. I'm gonna go ahead and put it in there, and I'm gonna wanna lefty loosey. It should come off. Sorry guys, I'm doing this with one hand. There we go. It's out. Now you're gonna wanna go ahead and. So I already loosened up the lug nuts when the car was on the ground. So hooray for me, I'm not struggling. I'm just taking them off right now. Taking them off right now, and I'm gonna take off the wheel. Now this, you can watch how to do this in case you're tight, you get a flat, and so on and so forth. But when you get a flat, you won't have a jack stand or a floor jack. Floor jack, there we go, that's what it's called. You're gonna have a small floor jack, which you would actually put right here in this area, or wherever you're. Say for instance, this tire got flat, you're gonna put it here, and then you're gonna jack it up, and then you're gonna leave it there, and then you're gonna do the work with the wheel. So only one side's gonna be lifted, one corner, as I would say, because this corner would be just lifted, and you would just take off all the lug nuts. You wouldn't have to worry about the wheel spinning because your other wheel would be on the ground as well. So I'm gonna go ahead and, yeah, practically you would just have to take off the wheel, and that's it. And then have your spare ready, put it back on. If you were on the freeway or in the middle of nowhere, you know, that's one way of doing it. But this is my spare. Honestly, I'm just switching it because I have the actual tire in the spare section near the back of the van, and this is the spare that actually came with the car, and as you can see, it's pretty bad. I'm sure I showed you guys in the last video right here that I have this hole on the wall of the tire. But yeah, let me just get this done, and then I'll show you guys how to take off the serpentine belts. So okay, now for the serpentine belt part, to take off both the serpentine belts, you gotta take off the left. The motor's facing the right side of the car. The engine's on the right side, the transmission's on the left. Now for this, you are gonna want to take off the tire in order to get better access to the serpentine belts. It's gonna be through that little housing right there. We're gonna go ahead and take this off right now, just like so. I'm doing everything with one hand, guys, so bear with me. And for safety purposes, since you are gonna be under the vehicle, I do and would recommend you putting this tire underneath the car, just in case these give out and the other one gives out. And I do recommend you putting the floor jack on the other side, holding the car as well, just in case, again, just in case anything does give out. You don't want to be dead with the car on top of you. Alright guys, so give me a sec. Let me go put this under where I need it. So alright guys, so I ended up putting the tire right there, as you guys can see. Sorry if the camera's way too shaky. And I ended up putting the floor jug right there under that, just in case, because I am going to be underneath here just to get to the serpentine belts. So give me a sec, let me go down there. Alright, so since I'm underneath the car, now in order to take off the serpentine belt, I already got one off, as you can see. Now you can see that pulley right there, guys. Now there's gonna be a bolt that you want to loosen up right here. You want to loosen up that bolt, not all the way off, but just loosen it to where the point where this can move. And then this one right here, there's gonna be a bolt right. I don't know if you guys can see it. Let me see if I can turn on my flashlight. Okay, you guys see this bolt right here? You're gonna wanna use a 14mm wrench, and for this bolt as well up here is gonna be a 14 socket. So for this one, since it is like it's not like completely like over the pulley, you are going to have to use a socket with the ratchet. On this one, you're gonna have to use a wrench, a ratchet wrench. I have one, I used it, and it came off perfectly fine. You're gonna do lefty-loosey, and it should let you loosen it up, and then you're gonna be able to move it up and down like that. Once that's moved, you can remove the belt off, and this will come off completely. Now the compressor is right here. As you can see, I was thinking that it was the belt, but unfortunately the belt looks perfectly fine. It looks in good condition. There are no cracks or anything, but I'm still gonna replace it just in case. I do have the warranty. The warranty expires on let's see, September, October, so I'd rather just get new belts right away, and these could be probably like defective or something. I'll inspect them more in the light. In order to take off the second serpentine belt, the one that's back there, you are gonna have to loosen up. Alright guys, now for the second serpentine belt, I don't know if this will focus. There's two bolts right there, as you can see. There's this one up here, this bolt. Now these are all 14mm bolts. You're gonna loosen this one a tiny bit to where it's like finger loose, and then you're gonna have to loosen up this one as well, finger loose. And then there's gonna be this bolt right here. This one you're gonna loosen up completely. You're gonna continue loosening it, and you're gonna see this. You're gonna see this puppy, this pulley, start to come downward, and then the belt will of course be loose. And then if you struggle to take off the belt, you can continue loosening up this nut, lefty-loosey, and then it will continue coming down. As you can see, it's slowly but surely moving, and it's gonna stop right about here, and then it's loosely enough that I can pull it over the power steering pulley, and she comes out. Look at that, guys. The same exact way you guys took everything out, you guys are gonna put it back on. I'll be back in a bit. I'm gonna go to AutoZone and go to the other parts store and auto parts store and get the replacement belts. See you guys in a bit.